United Nations Working Group on the Arbitrary Detention has called on the Indian authorities to immediately release Kashmiri human rights defender Khurram Parvez. Parvez has been detained since his arrest on 22 November 2021 under India's draconian anti-terrorism legislation and is currently detained in Rohini Jail, Delhi. All parties Hurriyat Conference Azad Kashmir chapter held a protest demonstration outside the Indian High Commission in Islamabad against the continued illegal detention of the Hurriyat leaders, activists and Kashmiri youth in occupied Kashmir. The protesters, while carrying pictures of the Hurriyat leaders, activists, youths, human rights defenders and journalists detained in Indian jails, participated in the protest. Senior All Parties Hurriyat Conference leader Naeem Ahmed Khan has voiced his grave concern over the continued bloodshed and rising human rights violation at the hands of Indian forces in the occupied Jammu and Kashmir. In a message from New Delhi's Tihar jail released in Srinagar, the illegally detained leader made a particular mention of the recent acts of Indian state terrorism which killed innocent youth in the Kashmir Valley. Indian government has decided to even attach the part of the share in the property or accounts of those who are not holding any assets movable or immovable on their names in the occupied Jammu and Kashmir. Indian officials claim that while working out the details of the properties of the freedom activists, including nearly 250 those who are operating from Azad Kashmir police and civil administration in the occupied Kashmir, found that many of them had no assets on their names, as their houses and land were either on the names of their parents or the family members. High Court of Occupied Kashmir has quashed an illegal detention order under Black Law, the Public Safety Act, against a father of 6 minor daughters from the Baramulla district. They quashed the order under PSA against the Baramulla resident Manzoor Ahmed Lone. New Delhi-controlled State Investigation Unit presented charge sheet against the youth, including a martyr, before a court of dreaded National Investigation Agency in Srinagar. According to Kashmir Media Service, the SIU presented the charge sheet under the Black Law Unlawful Activities Prevention Act against 3 youth, including one among them, Adil Ahmed Pare, who was martyred by the Indian troops in June 2022. Committee to Protect Journalists, citing a media crackdown in occupied Kashmir, including the use of preventive detentions, terrorism and criminal cases, travel bans and raids, has called on the US government to urge India to end a media crackdown and release the detained journalists. After the BBC documentary India, the Modi Question, the Bharatiya Janata Party government is now faced with another challenge, this time from Al Jazeera, which made a film India, who lit the fuse on how the Muslim minority of India is living with a sense of fear amid attacks and fiery hate speeches against them by the leaders in India. A gang of Rashtriya Bajrang Dal launched a Muslim youth in the Indian state of Maharashtra. The 23-year-old man named Lukman Ansari was launched by a gang in the Maharashtra Nasik district. 60th death anniversary of Mirwais Atikullah Shah, the prominent religious scholar, spiritual leader and former president of Anjuman Nusratul Islam, was observed in the occupied Kashmir with great devotion and respect.